SKU and SKU card. When working with an entry in the catalog, we operate with data about the equipment manufacturer, its name, its model, its market-related characteristics, and its technical specifications. However, at the entry level, we don't have access to information about the actual physical object behind the entry. It's unclear whether the object is functional, in which warehouse it is located, how many such objects the entry includes, and similar details. In the Golova system, the concept of SKU, which stands for Stock Keeping Unit, is used to describe the behavior of a physical object. An SKU is the material representation of an entry. That is, it's the actual object itself, or a group of objects. Each SKU has its own unique identification number, the SKU number. For an entry of the equipment type, which is what we are currently looking at, an SKU corresponds to a single physical object, typically a professional device. Meanwhile, for entries of the accessories and consumables types, an SKU is assigned not to a single object but to a group of objects. This is because entries of these two types represent similar, often small items that serve a supporting function in relation to the main equipment: cables, batteries, packaging materials, and so on. Tracking them individually is impractical. Since an SKU represents a physical object, and the concept of service is intangible, SKUs aren't used for entries of the service type. Look, when selecting entries in the warehouse tree, their SKUs are visible. However, when selecting services, there are no SKUs. Another important point: an entry of the kit type also doesn't contain SKUs. A kit entry includes other entries rather than SKUs. Now, to create SKUs for an entry, select the required entry in the catalog tree or double-click on it in the workspace in the center of the screen. Above the workspace, you'll see the Add Quantity icon. Clicking on it will open the SKU Addition dialog window. In the Quantity field, specify how many SKUs you want to add. For an entry of the equipment type, this number corresponds to the number of devices you want to add to the inventory. In the Purchase field, you can enter the purchase date and cost of the equipment. From the Warehouse drop-down list, you can select the warehouse where these SKUs will be stored. Parameters can be set manually. They will automatically be applied to all newly created SKUs. They can also be copied from the entry parameters, or copied from the last filled SKU. After clicking Add in the dialog window, the specified number of SKUs will appear in the catalog. Their numbers are generated by the system, but these numbers can be changed later in the SKU properties. The quantity field in the entry card for which you created SKUs will also be updated. Just like an entry, an SKU has its own card. It contains the main details of the SKU. The SKU card consists of 3 tabs: Information, Fields, and Files. Information tab. In the upper right corner of the tab, there are 3 icons: Calendar, SKU History, and History of Movement across projects. The calendar displays the projects in which this SKU was used. SKU History shows all changes made to the SKU in the catalog. History of Movement across projects displays the status changes of the SKU within projects. Take note of the Location field. This field shows where the SKU is currently located. Possible locations: warehouse, service center, venue. SKU number. Here, you can manually assign an SKU number. Purchase. This field allows you to enter the purchase date and cost of the SKU. If you filled in these details when adding the SKU, they will be displayed here. Serial number. This is the serial number from the manufacturer. Don't confuse it with the SKU number. Throw and bin fields contain the warehouse coordinates of the SKU. Next, the Quantity field. For equipment type entries, the quantity is always 1. Clicking on Edit next to the quantity allows you to perform actions such as write off, sell, or send to service center. Warehouse. Here, you can select which warehouse stores the SKU. Warehouses are created in the Warehouses database in the catalog top menu. Parameters. These are the physical and electrical measurements of the SKU. To the right of the title, there is an Apply Parameters to All SKUs icon. Clicking it will apply the specified values to all SKUs of this entry. Now, let's go to the Fields tab. Just like in the entry card, additional fields can be added to the SKU card. They are created in the Fields section of the Catalog top menu. Now, the Files tab. Here, you can upload a license, insurance policy, photos, user manual, and any other relevant documents. Now that we've covered entries and SKUs, let's move on to special cases where the previously described rules may not always apply. We will explore them in our next videos.